They ain't believe in us. God did. Lads. What did I say, man? What did I say? Um, Obviously I said Alexander Hernandez was gonna win. You just gotta go on my account. You gotta look on the community posts before UFC 319. I may have predicted Dricus and Asakura to win, but like, you know, those just weren't good predict. I mean, Asakura was a good prediction. He just fumbled and fought really timidly for some reason. And I'll get onto that in a bit. But I mean, this might be one of my all-time best predictions. Everyone except me and fucking MMA Guru were picking Chase Hooper to win, but I knew my boy Alexander Hernandez, one of my top 20 favorite fighters, probably was gonna beat Chase Hooper. But I just want to talk about the full card because it was a good card. There was some good fights. You know, there was some not so good fights. But we'll just start off with this one, man. Alibi Idris. So this is the Ultimate Fighter. Was kind of hyped up to be like, this guy's like good. You know, people thought he was gonna win. As you can see, massive favourite. I didn't drop my full predictions. I probably would have predicted him to win though. And Joseph Morales gets it done by submission. I believe it was off his back. First round, right here. He does have good submissions. I think he might actually be a decent prospect. I don't know how old he is though. That's one thing I'm worried about with Joseph Morales. I don't know how old this guy is. Has he fought? He has fought in the UFC before. Uh, I'll look it up later. But he has good submissions. I was pretty impressed. Moving on, this one, Kareem Silva and Dion Barboza. Um, yeah, I didn't think it was a robbery. There were people calling it a robbery. I know Rogan and DC were trying to call it a robbery. Like, bro, this is MMA. We're scoring based on damage, so I don't care that Dion Barboza like got more control time and had takedowns and stuff. Karine Silva was able to outdamage her. She looked pretty good. I thought she won. So there we go. Moving on. Barboza versus Close. It was interesting, man. This fight definitely could have gone to Edson Barboza. Um, Now as you can see, Close was landing quite a bit more in every round, although it was even in the third. But Barboza, I felt like, was landing the better shots. You know, if you look significant strikes, Barboza hasn't beat every round except the second. So you could give this fight to Barboza. It was very close though. Close. Um, I didn't really rage Ricardo Close that much, to be honest. He's okay. He's pretty good. I don't know. Barboza's done. He should retire. Moving on. I mean, I just talked about this, but it was just great, man. Because I said if you just go and look at the community post on my account, Alexander Hernandez is physically strong enough with good enough wrestling to at least stuff the early takedowns. You know, Chase Hooper's striking defense is horrible, and Alexander Hernandez also beat a better version of Jim Miller than the one Chase Hooper beat. And fucking Lucas Tracy, man, when he predicted this fight, was like, yeah, bro, Alexander Hernandez is on the same level as the old Jim Miller that Chase Hooper beat. Alexander Hernandez beat Jim Miller before the Bobby Green fight when he was having his career resurgence, you know? So I don't want to hear any disrespect to my boy's name. I like this guy mainly because I've had to defend him before because people gave him insane hate for just like chatting shit to Cerrone and then losing, but it's like, bro, he's trying to sell the fight, you know? And if he'd won, no one would be hating on him. Let's be real. Covington effect, right? Strickland effect. No one cares when they win, but when they're losing, like now everyone's gonna come and hate on them. But yeah, I also thought it was pretty competitive up until the KO, which was at the very end of the round. Um, Hernandez could have been up though. I mean, he was most of Hooper's strikes were like these like little kicks that weren't really doing that much, whereas Hernandez is landing like pretty big right hands over the top constantly, and Hooper just did nothing and couldn't get his takedown. So yeah, I was hyped. I was hyped when this happened. Yeah, this was great opener to the not early prelims. Moving on, this fight was good, man. I saw people calling it boring. I think that might just be because it's a WMMA fight. Firstly, I want to acknowledge how much Jessica Andrade looks like a boy. I just think that's quite funny. And she definitely won the third round, but the first two I gave to Lupi. But they were getting scrappy, man. This was not a bad fight. They were getting scrappy. They had some fun moments, so this was pretty good. I think Godinez has improved quite a bit. Although she does still gas. She did gas in the third round, so maybe she can fix that in the future. Moving on, GM3 versus Oleg Zaychuk. Clean ass combo from Mikhail Oleg Zaychuk. I don't know how he can look like this and be a former light heavyweight. This guy's one of the heaviest middleweights and very powerful too. And he's built like this, and he's not even tall. Like, it's just confusing, but it was great. It was a great finish from Oleg Zaychuk in the first round. Just a clean combo, little three-piece over the top. Reminded a lot of people, myself included, of Conor versus Eddie Alvarez. So it was good. And yeah, I think Oleg Zaychuk, I think you can give him like, I don't know who you give him next, to be fair. I don't think someone ranked, I think like Hermanson or something, I don't know. Susakayev versus Eric Nolan, man. Eric Nolan had Susakayev in trouble in the first round. He did. He had him in trouble in the first round. And was doing pretty well on the feet. He was. But Susakayev just went to the grappling and he subbed Eric Nolan. Rear naked, right? I think I'm right in saying that he was a massive favourite. He did take the fight on a week's notice after fighting on Contender Series like last week. He's good. Eric Nolan should stay in the UFC. He did good for someone on very short notice. Especially since Susakayev had just been in a training camp, so it's like it's not going to be as bad as someone stepping up upper weight class for this training camp. I thought Susakayev looked good though. He's good. Yeah. This fucking fight, man. I'm a big fan of Kaya Sakura, but I've just become less of a fan of Kaya Sakura. He won the first round, but he didn't maraud. You know, if you watch Kaya Sakura's first round against Pantoja, he walked forwards and he marauded and he tried to fucking get Pantoja out of there. He threw his flying knee. It hit his thigh, hit Pantoja's face, you know. He did lose that round, but Pantoja's just that good, you know. Pantoja's way better than Tim Elliott, right? And just, like, in this first round he won, but it was like, he was very, like, skirting on the outside, and occasionally he darts in and he lands like a right-hander. And then in the second round he just got taken down and got guillotined, so that sucks, man, because who cares about Tim Elliott? He's never going to be anything, you know. This guy's like a bottom 2 DJ title defense, and Kaya Sakura is probably the worst Pantoja title win in hindsight, you know. And it's weird, man, because this guy, I mean, he knocked out Horiguchi, and he beat Manel Kape, though that was very close, and that could have gone either way. How does this guy have a knockout win over Horiguchi? I'm so confused. I mean, maybe Horiguchi is just worse than we thought he was. I mean, I know they're 1-on-1, but still, like, you got knocked out by this guy once. It's not the best look. Yeah. Moving on. MVP versus Cannonier. I don't know if I dropped a prediction for this. But MVP did very good. He did what he does, you know. He went in there, low output, just kind of clearly won the first 2 rounds, and in the third, Cannonier was able to get a takedown and control him in that round, land some strikes. But MVP kind of knocked down Cannonier. I don't think they got counted as knockdowns, but he does this thing where he like pushes you or he trips you after he hits you with a big shot, so it can't really count as a knockdown. And he called out Prates after this fight. I don't think so. I think you should just stay at middleweight and fight a striker at middleweight, a Strickland or an Adesanya, something like that. And yeah, I thought that was just a good performance for MVP, to be honest. He's maybe the best striker in the UFC. He's just so hard to outstrike. I think he would probably outstrike JDM. I'm not even kidding. He probably would. That's the thing with him at middleweight. It's like I could see him getting to a title shot if he beats Izzy or he beats Strickland, and then gets a shot off that. But I couldn't see like him winning the title because Hamzat's going to be champ, right? At welterweight, I think it would be harder for him to get to a title shot because if you look at the guys in the top 5, it's like Brady, Bilal, you know, both guys are going to grapple. Leon, who can grapple and is also very good at range with the striking. And who else? Usman, obviously, is going to be heavy on the wrestling. Shavkat can grapple. But then when you actually get to the title, like JDM probably would not shoot takedowns on MVP. And MVP could have a lot of success against JDM. So it's weird, man. It's weird with MVP. Moving on. Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates. Fucking hell, man. Carlos Prates is one of the coolest fighters ever. Like, I know he lost to Ian Gary and That's good for Ian Gary, man. I seriously think Prize with a different game plan beats Ian Gary though. And in this fight, it was actually competitive. Jeff Neal landed a couple left hands, some leg kicks, but Prize is just on the outside. Moving out of the way of the big shots. He's completely fine. He's a very good chin, does Prize. He gets hit with some. He got hit with some good shots against Jeff Neal and against Ian Gary when they fought. And towards the end of the round, like the last 1.5 minutes, Prates just kind of hits a flow state. He starts landing the right hand. He's landing a lot of leg kicks. He's swerving out the way of Jeff Neal's punches. 1 second left in the round. Spinning elbow from hell puts Jeff Neal out. Carlos Perez is back, calls out Leon Edwards. They could do it. I don't know if Edwards versus Morales is confirmed. It's not confirmed. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Yeah. So I can see that happen. Or you just do Prates versus... I don't even know. If you don't do Prates and Leon, who does Carlos Prates fight? I have no clue. Not Gilbert Burns. I just want to say, I feel like that's the fight I could see him doing. Let's just not. I don't want my boy to get slept by Prates. Anyway, moving on. Lerone Murphy. Bro, Lerone did good. I like Lerone, man. He's cool. He's got this cool like origin story of getting shot in the face, which is interesting. Poor guy, Did very good in this fight. Now, Pico, I think is shit, but he's never beat anyone good, and he's lost to Cans in Bellator. He did have success early. He hurt Lerone with a hook, and he was landing good body shots. But then Lerone just has to build his way into it. He struggled with the pressure early. I think that's kind of he's had that issue before, maybe struggling early. Got knocked down early against Dan Ige. Built his way into the fight, starts landing the teeps to the body, straight punches, and then just walks Aaron Pico into like the most perfectly placed spinning elbow, flush on the face. Aaron Pico's out cold. Get Aaron Pico on the fucking prelims of an Apex card fighting Melquizel Costa or some shit, because we don't care about Aaron Pico, Lerone Murphy should not get a title shot. Bro, I keep seeing people saying Lerone should get a title shot. He beat a 40-year-old Josh Emmett who was coming off a 1.5-year layoff of rank number 8. And then Aaron Pico, who sucks. I know, Movsar pulled out against Pico, and that was going to be a number 1 contenders fight. Yeah, but Movsar didn't have to fight Pico. Like, what? The UFC basically forced Movsar to fight Pico because they don't want to give him a title shot for no reason. He deserves it, man. Movsar's my least favourite featherweight. He's a nonce, but he deserves the shot, and this is about the integrity of the sport, Lerone Murphy does not deserve a title shot. I don't care what people tell you, Why not if you don't want to give Movsar a title shot, why not do Movsar versus Lerone for a title eliminator bout? Something like that, And if, the winner of... not the winner, but, if Silva beats Lopez, which I think he will, you've got that person. If Lopez beats Silva, you could do Lopez and Yair, or something, There are fights we can do for the title eliminator bout. People want that to happen at lightweight. Everyone's in agreement that at lightweight we should get Arman versus Paddy and Gaethje versus Hooker or whatever. These guys should fight, and Ilya can wait for his next defense. Volk, I know Volk's old, but he can wait for his next title defense. I know he called out Murphy for December. Think about it this way. Volk probably has 2 fights left. Let's be real, Volk probably has 2 fights left. Movsar Evloev has beat Aljo and beat Arnold Allen. Even though it was a robbery, it was very close, and he showed he's on that level. And he's beat Ige way better than Murphy beat Ige, and he's beat Lopez. It was a while ago, short notice, I know, but he still beat him, and the Aljo performance is very good, right? This guy is a proven elite level contender. Lerone Murphy beat a 40-year-old Josh Emmett who looked terrible, and then Pico, who's just not ranked level in the UFC. He's done nothing to prove it, What win is better for Volkanovski? Obviously, it's Movsar. Do we care about Volk's legacy? This is going to be a Mickey Mouse title defense that doesn't do shit. The Chad Mendes win did more for Volk's legacy than this win would do. But anyways, still a good performance from Lerone. I'd like to see him in a title eliminator next, just not getting a shot. Moving on. Yeah, I picked Dricus because I was kind of thinking Hamzat's going to exert himself in the first round like he always does. He's going to go apeshit in the first round, 10-8 that round, and then he's just going to like gas, you know, because that's what I thought. I thought this guy was going to gas out. He didn't gas out, guys. And he didn't go apeshit in the first round. He just took Dricus down and held him there. And it was shit. It was a boring fight, but I don't know who beats Chimaev. I mean, I think Fluffy has the best chance, and I'd love to see that. Lucas is saying Fluffy should get a title shot. Let's not. Like, why are we just calling for undeserved title shots now? He beat Delidze. Anthony Hernandez is my favourite middleweight. He needs to fight Strickland or Izzy or someone, you know, before he gets to fight fucking for a title. The winner of Amavo Baralio is the #1 contender. You can't deny that. You can't just, like, this is the, once again, the integrity of the sport. We can't just be giving people who don't deserve it at all bullshit title defenses. But yeah, Hamzat Chimaev just kind of took down Dricus and held him there. Bunch of 10-8 rounds, you know. A lot of people had like 3 or 4 10-8s for Hamzat, and then the fifth, I guess there was an argument for Dricus winning the fifth. Still could have gone to Hamzat, and either way, like, because look, either way, it doesn't matter, you know. Yeah, Hamzat's the champ. He's very good. I don't know who beats him. I don't think the winner of Amavo Baralio would beat him, because I don't see what they can do if Hamzat just takes them down and keeps them there, you know. So yeah, great performance from Hamzat. Very boring. I'm worried we're only going to get like one middleweight title fight every 1.5 years. We'll see, I guess. And that's the video, man. That's the video. What video am I going to drop next? I think soon I'm going to drop a video about Aljo versus Ortega, because I'm interested about that fight. I want to break it down a little bit. And yeah,
In a bit, lads.